Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Pricie here, and I'm back with some more World of Tanks footage for you. Today we're looking at another subscriber replay. It's a bit of platooning from Cricketwes, Benny Dude and Zorro Pop of Cirque 1. Cricketwes is going to be driving the Centurion Mark 7.1 for us today. This is a tier 9 medium tank. It's a great little package. A little bit about the Centurion 7.1. The FV designation for the tank was the FV 4012, and from designs of this tank went through testing in 1953, and production started shortly afterwards. As of the Centurion Mark 5-2, it was an upgunned version of the Centurion using the Royal Ordnance 105mm L7 rifle tank gun. And the Mark 7.1 variant was an up-armoured version of the Mark 7. So, into the round, here we go. It's a nice opportune shot there on the enemy Centurion 7.1. Fairly average damage roll of 402, but it looks like he gets a second shot there. The tank just faded out from vision, but it looks like he managed to clip him in the rear quarter just as the tank faded out, so it looked like that was a solid hit. We'll have to find out later. Just communicating with his team at the moment, letting them know that the hit that he took from the Centurion indicates that their Centurion's running a stock gun. Always nice to share a bit of information. And for some reason, this T-54 from the enemy team, who's actually quite a good player, comes barreling through, and yeah, it seems like he's on a bit of a death wish. So Wes sends him on his way, grants his wish, and that's the first kill on the board for him. So, 1216 damage done so far, 1 kill on the board, and they are working this F-line at the moment here on Fisherman's Bay. It's a great place to be if you're in a medium tank. You can support fire down onto the left-hand flank and into the town, as well as harassing and taking pot shots at their medium tanks or anybody else that happens to be hiding around the E-line on their side. Bouncing a few shots, putting a bit more fire in, gets a nice hit onto the Object 140. He turns out the Object 140 is a bit of a pain. He sort of rears his head at the most unopportune moments. He plays a really good bit of medium play, and he's always there to put sort of flanking shots into Wes and Zorro Pop when they're not expecting it. Now, as I just said, Wes and Zorro, they're working the F-line. Benny Dude, who's the other member of the platoon, is down at H1 at the moment. You can see him down there, so he's working the left-hand flank, and we'll see how the game pans out. So look, E100 sighted in the town. This is exactly what I was talking about the F-line. You can get opportune shots down into the heavy tanks that are trying to work and grind the corners in the town, and using that excellent penetration on the L7 gun to put the APCR rounds through the front plate of the E100. Even though it was well angled against him, as you can see, it goes in no problem. Really great penetration on this tank. It's a really good package. It's one of my favourites. I'm really looking forward to getting up the British medium lines and getting my hands on one of these in the future, although I'm a long way away. So, 2,747 done so far. He's taken a couple of hits, but nothing too serious. Gets a nice hit on the Object 140, and the Object 140 pays him back, but with a lower roll than he took, so it's a fair trade. And that puts him on 3,166 damage done. He's just waiting to see if the object will poke again. Goes for a cupola snipe, but it unfortunately ricochets off the turret, or gets sponged by the turret, should I say. It wasn't a ricochet, it's failed to penetrate. Probably a low penetration roll, or managed to hit one of the stronger parts of the turret a little bit lower down, just below the cupola. The scoreboard is 4-5 at the moment, so even though this game looks pretty positive, and Wes equalises that scoreboard, brings it up for his second kill, puts it on 5-5. At the beginning of the game, this round did say, I believe it was a 56 or a 57 percenter. It has been a tough fight, especially in the early parts of the game. There was a period of the time where the left flank really didn't look like it was going well, but obviously Benny managed to play a blinder over there and lock that flank down. And it looks like that flank's almost won now. The town's still a bit thin on numbers. As you can see, the enemy team are pretty heavy in the town. There's a M103, an E100, an E75, an STI, and a T57 heavy lurking there, when really from Wes's team there's only an E75, an E100 and a mouse. So they are kind of outnumbered. But the kill board is on 8-6 now, and where the middle has pretty much been won and the left flank has pretty much been won, that frees up more tanks to come across and help put in flanking fire into the tanks that are in the city trying to work the corners. And that's just what Wes was indicating now. He's pinging on the map and letting his team know that they're free and available. They're sort of got nothing to do, for want of a better word, as they've done their job and won the F line. And they're now available to put flanking fire into the heavy tanks in the city if the team would like to push up. It's a nice opportune shot there. He was aiming for the E75, but the STI kindly just drives in front and goes shoot me inside instead. So, not wanting to look a gift horse in the mouth, he puts a shot in. Doesn't take that shot on the STI because, to be honest, that was a little bit thin. Wasn't much chance of it going in, and the STI's got a notoriously hard to penetrate turret. Yeah, I think it's made out of granite or something like that, but things just do not go into that turret. Although E50M's firing heat, as we found out yesterday, will go through it, but then I suppose that will go through just about anything. So now, the Zerg begins. The heavy tanks have pushed up, the medium tanks are zerging in from the side, hitting the surrounds, and this is it for the city, and as quick as a flash, everyone in the city is dead. It's now 13-6, the game is well in hand. cricketwes is still on 2 kills, Benny Dude is also on 2 kills, and Zora Pop is on 3. He's done 4,675 damage done so far. And it's just a matter of hunting down the last 2 tanks, which is the 212A artillery piece and the T54E1 auto-loading tier 9 medium tank from the Americans. And the T54E1 for some reason is on full health, so Wes preloaded premium Hesh, puts a shot into him, gets a lovely roll for 582. So that's certainly worked over his hit point pool a little bit. He goes in again. Another little quick flick snapshot, 484. And Zora Pop goes in and finishes off the kill. Now, unfortunately, if they'd have sort of timed it a bit better, then Wes could have picked up that kill, and that would have indeed been a brothers in arms for them. But anyway, let's have a look at the endgame score screen and see how he did. And here we are at the endgame score screen for cricketwes' Centurion 7-1 replay on Fisherman's Bay. As we can see, he picks up his mastery badge there, the ace tanker. He also picked himself up a high caliber for the most damage done, and also a Confederate award for damaging or tracking the most amount of vehicles from anyone in the game. So that was a really good round for him now, really highlighting the strengths and weaknesses of the Centurion 7-1 and just how good that L7 105mm rifled gun can be in the right hands. If we go over to the team score page, we'll see that that was a 1,460 base experience round for Wes. Really great game, and during that game we can see he hit a few of those blind shots that on the tanks that faded from vision, giving him a grand total of 6,150 experience. He also picked up 2 kills that game. All 3 members of the platoon come first, second and third on experience, with Zora Pop in at second. He was in his E50M, and he put in a great result there as well, 4,232 damage done. Picked up 4 kills, which was 1,086 base experience. Although, as I say, if they'd have shared that last kill and given the last kill, if Zora Pop had given that last kill across to Wes, then that would have been a brothers in arms for the platoon, which would have been even sweeter. Benny Dude, who was looking after the left flank, and if you saw at the end of the game, was left there, was the only one left alive by the end of the game on the left flank, and he was in his M48 pattern. And he did 1,701 damage, picked up 3 kills and got 772 experience. Still not a bad round for him as well. Now let's go over to the detailed report. Here we are at the detailed report. We can see that during that game Wes fired 21 shots, of which of the 21 that he fired, 17 were direct hits, and out of the 17 he fired, highlighting that excellent penetration of the L7 gun, 16 penetrated, which brought his grand total up to 6,150 damage. During that game, he did receive 6 hits, of which 5 penetrated. One was a non-penetration, and one was a splash damage hit that he received from the 212A artillery piece. Now, being a medium tank and being quite nippy, it's not amazingly fast, the Centurion, but it keeps its speed very well. It's very good up and down hills. It's not very well armoured, so as you can see, quite a few of those shots did penetrate. Although he did manage to block 550 damage with his armour. In that game, he spotted 2 enemy vehicles. He damaged 9 enemy vehicles, which gave him the Confederate, and he destroyed 2 enemy vehicles. And he did just over almost 1,100 player assistance damage through spotting and tracking. Now, in that game, Wes wasn't running a premium account. And even after using the premium hash, resupplying, I think it was a repair kit he had to use, and repair costs for his vehicle, he still made 4,787 credits profit, even without a premium account. And if he'd had a premium account, he would have made 32,000 credits that game. As we discussed earlier, he got 1,460 base experience for that round, which ensured him the ace tanker. Great round. And on top of that, they received a action payout for a mission of 365 experience, bringing up his total to 1,825 XP. Unfortunately, not a double for him, but still a great round on experience nonetheless. So, I hope you enjoyed this subscriber replay. I've got a few more in the pipeline, and also want you guys out there to keep on subbing, keep on sending me those replays. That'd be great. Of course, if you like this video, then please feel free to give it a thumbs up. That really helps me out. And on other news, I will be trying to improve the quality of the content on the channel in the coming near future, as I will be ordering a new microphone within the next couple of days, splashing out and getting a decent microphone. So hopefully that will improve the audio commentary quality for future videos. So please, feel free to sub, stay with the channel, and be kept up to date for future content.